Hi, we're here now with Mike Stuchlak. Mike is the Republican candidate for the Clerk of Judicial Records. So, Mike, welcome. We appreciate your coming here today. And as I said before, we're pointing all of our viewers to our website, lwvlackawanna.org, for bio information and for answers to a couple of additional questions that we've asked for the candidates. This is part of our new online voter guide at vote411.org. So, Mike, we're going to get right into the questions. And the first question that I have for you is, what are the duties of the office that you're seeking?
The duties of the office are more or less to oversee the Clerk of Judicial Records, more as a manager. There's 3 offices, takes care of all the judicial records in the court system, and more or less to watch the budget, take care of all the finances, take care of all the things that got to be done as far as the organization of people, and get everything organized to make sure everything is being run right. Like I said, more of a management position than anything.
Okay. And what qualifies you to run for this office? And we're interested in any relevant experience that you might have, either professionally or personally. What makes you, why should people select you over your opponent? Why you?
Well, first of all, I'm not a career politician. I think if you put in more than one term, you got to be classified as a career politician. I'm a working man, just like every other individual out there, just trying to get by every week, paycheck to paycheck. With their rent and their mortgage, their food, education. But I founded my own business. I was 24 years old. Stutz, a specialty shop. It's the largest Boy Scout distributor when the numbers were there. Largest boys clothing store in northeastern Pennsylvania in the whole northeast region. I was 24. I'm in business 33 years. I'm still there. I'm an Eagle Scout. I've been in Scouts. This is my 50th year. I joined when I was 8 years old. I'll be 58 this year. And I'm a veteran. I got a lot of leadership behind me, management skills from the business. I'm looking to take the business to the next level. I'm going online and hopefully be able to put a couple people to work at my shop. I think I'm really well qualified to run the office of Clerk of Judicial Records at Lackawanna County.
Okay, thank you. The county recently released an online records database. Do you feel the project is complete? Why or why not?
Well, first of all, again, the Clerk of Judicial Records, it's part of the system of the county, and the county's in trouble just as everybody else in government. There's too much waste, too much spending, and going back, doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican, throughout the administration is going backwards. And we got a $200 million budget hole in the county right now. And going back to the technology to put everything online, that's probably the future way to go. But in real essence of what's going on out there, it's too slow. 8 years to get to this point, it's just too slow. I mean, you're coming out with the technology. In reality, it's changing about every 18 months. They're coming out with a new iPod in the neighborhood about every 9 months. You just can't move that quick. In fact, the base that it's on is already outdated. I think that was, I don't know if it's Explorer 1 or 2. They're already up to either 8 or 9 already. And it's the right way to go, though. But going back to what we have in our county, it's a paper office. And if you're over 35, you're dealing with paper yet. If you're under 30, you're dealing with the technology. And we're moving in the right direction, but we're moving too slow.
Okay, thank you. What improvements do you believe are needed in this office, and what is your approach or plan to address them?
The first thing, again, would be that system. Probably to see if we can move a little quicker and do more of it, especially at the front end, to bring all the records in the database where you could access it through electronic means. You still have paper. If you need to press a copy, if it's up in a cloud, you could pull it down and press paper, and then more or less bring that up where you could eliminate a lot of the paper, even in storage. I know we're sitting on, I don't even know what the cost of the storage facility is, but I know we're spending a lot of money to just sit on this paper that we need, but we don't need. And we could probably do something like that, bring the system back up to speed, And then the other thing is, I strongly believe in consolidating all the offices. We could get rid of my seat, my position, as well as possibly one or two others, and put all under one roof, and hopefully maybe even give that individual more money. I don't know if you could go more than the county commissioners, but again, what the thing that, not being dead wood, you really don't need the three offices where you could consolidate everything, put everything under one roof, and bring it up to electronic speed. I think it is feasible, it is possible, but the key again is going to be, and again, this is up to the county commissioners, where's the money going to come from? And again, they have to address that kind of problem there of what's going on with the budget and what they could give me or maybe the two other offices. But if you do consolidate, the office into 1, 2, or 3, I think there's a good chunk of money that we could use to get the ball rolling forward.
Well, you've already answered my next question, but because we always ask the same set of questions of all candidates, I'm going to ask it anyway. So Lackawanna County currently has elected positions for the Clerk of Judicial Records, the Recorder of Deeds, and the Register of Wills. Should these offices be consolidated? Why or why not? So feel free to continue to speak on that.
Well, again, if it's you got to have government. You got to have government. You just can't just shut everything down and save people a ton of money. You just can't operate like that. You got to. But I know there's a lot of money going through the cracks, and again, it was never addressed by the county commissioners, both present and or past, and it's something probably to look at maybe from January forward. And again, if you get $210,000 for 3 positions, again, if you could give that maybe $100,000 or less, even $70,000 back to one of the row seats or that one row seat, you could save $200,000 right off the top, plus benefits. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of money that the county could save if they do it right. But again, it's not my call. I'm willing to work with. I'm willing to shut them down, to consolidate. There's other offices involved. It might even be something to do with the county commissioners and or the charter. I'm sure there's other steps they have to go through. And again, space. It's not going to be happening in 3 months, 6 months. If it happens in the middle of my term, I'll gladly relinquish my chair and move on. Or if it takes to the end of the chair, I'll gladly do this pick up and move on again. 1, 2, 3, 4 years, I'm a happy camper to, whatever's good for the people, for the county, and for the government.
Okay. Mike, do you believe that this position should be an elected position, or would the citizens of the county be better served or served in the same way by changing this to a position appointed by the county commissioners through a process of open competition?
Look at the problems you have at the airport, because it's by county. And again, there's tremendous waste at the airport, and that wasn't even addressed yet. And the problem there is everybody's appointed. The same thing back with this. It should be up to the people. If you do not like what I'm doing, then vote me out, or anybody else in office. But the problem with this is there's nobody stepping up to the plate that puts themselves in a position where they're willing to take the shot. People are just disgusted with government in general. And again, it has nothing to do with parties. They're career politicians. You get elected for 4 years, you're in for 4 years, you're in for 4 years. But if you're appointed to that chair, then the people do not have a voice in government. And government is the people. Let them elect the position, whoever it is. And if you don't like the position, elect them out. It's their call. But you got to get in there and get involved and do the right thing. Either vote them in or vote them out. It's the people's choice.
The last question that I have for you, you again touched on this already, but I am going to ask it. Luzerne County recently changed its home rule charter, eliminating 8 elected officials, so some commissioners and the Recorder of Deeds, the Treasurer, Clerk of Courts, the Coroner, and the Sheriff. Lackawanna County's home rule charter was passed in 1976. Is it time for Lackawanna County to review our home rule charter? And if so, would you recommend consideration of similar changes in our county government?
Well, they went from a parliamentary down in Luzerne County to it would be a clerk of judicial records with the change of the home rule charter. They're going to appoint a manager running at the top. I don't believe that. I think there's too many people. I think there's 22 going to be elected compared and more or less run it, one guy running like a manager running the county down in Luzerne County. They're going to have problems down the pike down there, and they're going to probably have to go back and readdress their charter to some degree. Back to our home rule charter, it's like your insurance policy, and people, they get caught with their pants down. You should, pull your insurance policy out once a year. That's what the insurance man is for. Pick them up, give them a call, say, hey, listen, what can we do? Rates might go up, you might get more coverage, but you don't know what you got if you don't review it. You just can't throw it in your strong box and wait for something to happen, and all of a sudden find out you weren't covered. Same thing with the homeroom charter. They should definitely, in fact, there should be part of the homeroom charter where you would go back and the county commissioners coming in should go back and maybe review it. Maybe there's new technology changes or some kind of geographic changes or something to do with the mineral rights or something that's unforeseen right now for the next county commissioners coming in, that they could either call the shots themselves or put it on the ballot for the people to put together and see what we could do from there forward. Well, most definitely, we should definitely look at that. It's only common sense. But again, you got 3 people running the county, or down like in Luzerne County, 22 people, and they figure that the job is done. The job is never done. The county government is always evolving, and you should always be constantly looking at it. Things change, and you got to change with it. It's time for us to change.
Okay. Mike, that's all the questions that I have for you, but you still have 2 minutes for a closing statement.
Okay, thank you. Again, as a working man, not a career politician. I'm a businessman, I'm a veteran, I'm an Eagle Scout, I'm a true leader. Support me in my cause to represent you, all residents of Lackawanna County, both Republican, Democrat, and Independent. I will commit to you to do the right thing, to streamline government, to make it more efficient, both in cost and service. It's time to pay for what we spend and make government less wasteful. Let's tell the career politicians to get off their throne and give government back to the people. Enough is enough. I reach out to you to support me and for your help and your vote on November 8th. I thank you for your time. God bless you.
Thanks, Mike. That concludes our interview with Mike Stuchlak, and he is the Republican candidate for the Lackawanna County Clerk of Judicial Records. Thanks so much for joining us today, and don't forget to check out lwvlackawanna.org for our online voter guide, and you'll have more information available to you about Mike and his positions.